guys, Nick here. You're listening to the official podcast of 4PlayerNetwork.com, a weekly live show about video games. We're proud to say that we've been at this since 2008 and have remained 100% independent since day one, and that means you'll never have to hear a sponsored ad on this show. So if you want to support what we do, all we ask is that you consider making our silly little show part of your weekly rotation. You can tune in when we record these episodes live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Time on twitch.tv/4playerpodcast, all spelled out. If that's not your thing, though, you can also subscribe to the show on your preferred podcast service, join our community Discord at discord.gg/4player, or, if you're so inclined, send us a couple bucks a month on Patreon. And that's it for shameless self-promotion. Time to talk about the latest and greatest in the world of video games. Let's get started. All right, hey everybody, welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 868, I think, maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
It is March 18th, 2026. It's a Wednesday. We usually record these things on Thursday. There was a scheduling conflict. It's my fault. We moved the podcast.
It's another
tonight.
Fucking movie night, man.
Yeah. But it's not mine. This is like my wife's most anticipated movie ever made.
What movie?
So, Project Hail Mary. Like it's like her favorite book. She's read it like 15 times, and she's
all right.
She loves The Martian. She loves The Martian. She's watched The Martian like 1,000 times.
That's what I was thinking of, The Martian. Right.
Yeah. It's the same author. So she's very, very, very excited. So we're going to see that tomorrow night, and hence why we're recording on Thursday. The other byproduct of this is that we don't have a ton to actually talk about tonight. A lot of the stuff that would have been new that we were going to talk about, we didn't really get enough time with. So we'll push it to next week. So Crimson Desert reviews dropped today, so maybe we'll talk a little bit about that tonight. But for the most part, I was just kind of planning on handing the reins over to Brad and letting him steer this show.
Wait. What are you talking about, Nick? You and I have
to
talk about.
I figured that was going to come up. Do we want to start with our marathon?
I don't know, Brad. What do you think? Do you guys want to talk about how Nick is now completely converted to my way of thinking?
Yeah, right. Dude. Wait, come on. I do want to hear about it. I do want to absolutely hear about it.
Let's talk.
All right. Well, let's talk about it, man. Let me tell you.
We can wait.
We played 3 hours of marathon. I kept waiting for him to be like, "Okay, this is my last one. I gotta go to bed, guys."
That
didn't happen for a while. I was surprised how many games we got in. Didn't happen for a while.
Look.
He took to it like a duck to water.
Oh, dude, let me just tell you, we didn't stream this, and part of me is happy we didn't, and other part of me wishes we did, because there was one moment in this thing where it was the most ridiculous, like, just green mistake, like, noob mistake, and, like, Crispy is, like, having a conversation with her other teammate about something, and I was just kind of, like, looking around, not paying attention, and I completely didn't hear the part of the conversation where they're like, "Oh, you just make sure you don't touch that thing." And I walk over to this thing,
and he immediately touched
and I immediately touch it and activate it, and like all of a sudden, all the alarms go off, all the doors close, we get swarmed by like 100 guys, and I just hear Crispy going, "Nicholas, no!"
Yeah, I mean, we were a little casual about it. I was like, "Obviously, don't touch that thing." And Nick's like a baby in the world who like has no idea. Doesn't even have those instincts yet, right?
Yeah.
And he just immediately touched it. But I mean, this is the kind of game where when things go wrong, it's kind of fun. It's kind of cool.
It's a mistake I'm only gonna make once.
You guys aren't gonna believe me, but like this sicko fucking PvP VE extraction shooter where like people are getting like real fucking in-depth and granular about the PvP, about the gameplay, really short time to kill. This is like sicko shooter shit, right? Nick killed 2 guys in the first match. Like, killed 2 people, 2 human people in the first match like it was nothing. Like, just went full-on Dark Passenger and murdered these people out of
because
nowhere.
To him, he probably doesn't even know there's
for like
people.
10 minutes, and he's murdering people. And I was
know.
Oh my god,
he doesn't
Nick.
know. Damn,
but also, like,
shooter.
you gotta also point out the fact that those were probably the last 2 people I killed for the entire night.
Well, I don't think that's true, is it?
I mean, I
We
feel
had
like
a
I
lot
got
of like run-ins and close calls and
yeah,
scrapes.
lot of
But you
skirmishes,
were
but
doing
like
way better. So, like, when Nick is like having fun, but he doesn't know what's going on, he's just like, ah,
yeah.
ah, like when Nick does that noise, ah, the saying like, oh, I don't know what's happening, but I'm playing a video game, ah, he's doing that, but people are dying around him. Like, people are being murdered by him. People are losing loadouts to this man, losing money to this guy. Like, it's
But
Yeah.
it's
crazy.
like you said the time to kill is really short, though, right?
It is
So it's like
really
getting the
short,
jump
which
on
is why
somebody
it's
in like
crazy
Counter
that
Strike.
they didn't kill him because he doesn't know what's going on.
I don't. I don't. Uh
This man
this
played a lot
is
of Starfield. He knows his shooters.
I mean, I
You
can't
can't
really
say shit
remember
like
what
that while I'm drinking something, Brad. Can't do
I
that.
also can't really remember what the last game I played was where I was like that
Starfield.
was like a first person shooter. Maybe it was Starfield. I don't know. If that is in fact how we want to classify Starfield. Um but yeah, I have a lot to learn in this game. There's a lot of moving parts in this game, just like learning the flow of it. But like I do now appreciate because I didn't quite grasp it when we talked about it last week, but like now I kind of fully understand the loop of like you have your build, you go into a map. If you die, if you die and fail the match, you lose that loadout. It's gone. It's like so it's like if you're in obviously it's a video game, so your goal is to win as much as possible, but like there's actual like dire repercussions for like
Takes.
You now know what an
So
extraction shooter
when
is.
shit is, yeah,
yeah.
you get that feeling of like when the scales are tipping against you, and you're like, oh no, but this gun I have is really cool, or like these mods I'm
And I'm never
using
going
are
to see it
really
again.
fun. Yeah, and you're like ratting an event, just hoping they don't find you, like the fucking SS or like hunt you down or something, and then they find you and kill you, and you're like, ah, damn, or you get out alive. Like, dude, it's exhilarating. I was
Yeah,
playing this
no.
game last night, hiding an event alone for
For
like
how long?
longer than I should have, and my heart was racing.
How?
It was
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy, man. And now that Nick has tasted the bloodlust a little bit,
Mhm.
I think he's converted. I think he's
I
Oh,
need to do some I need to like really cuz one
crispy.
thing
we're gearing
we were
up for Cryo Archive this weekend. We're going, Nick. The
we
minimum
were
the minimum loadout, they've announced that like you can't get into Cryo Archive without a loadout that's worth at least 5,000 credits.
my
The minimum.
well,
But you can't
wasn't I
take a free
rolling
loadout or whatever.
I'm pretty sure I was rolling with a loadout that was worth like 14,000 at some point during our
No.
match.
No.
But then it went right back down to like 1,000.
It
I
was
don't know.
maybe more like 1,400. That's more
Really?
like,
Really? I thought okay, maybe you're
yeah.
right. Maybe you're right. Well, I don't think
14,000
I'm
is
going to
insane. I don't know how you would have enough gear slots to carry 14,000. Like, that's crazy. But
the
like 5,000, to give you an example, is like everything has to be purple. Or
yeah,
everything
so
has to be
I'm
blue, and you have to have a couple purples to be at like 5,000. Like,
gotcha. I don't think I'm
so
going to make the cutoff.
I know. That's why we're gearing up. That's why we're playing for 5 hours tonight after the show. So get your
I
coffee
need to
ready.
do some I really do need to do some solo runs where I just kind of like get cuz like also there's when I play cuz I don't play games with other people a lot, so when I do, I feel the pressure start to build the more I play. And I start to that's why I feel like my skill feels like it's getting worse the more I play because I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so bad at this. I'm so green at
Nah.
this." Luckily, we were playing with someone who was very nice and very supportive and very
Oh yeah.
which was
Nick
great.
thought Nick thought it was Sonji.
Well,
He
no, it's
just
what
assumed that I was playing with Sonji, and it
no, I
wasn't. It was just
popped
some
in.
random guy.
I popped
Dodge.
into when you invited me to your crew. I popped into your crew, and the name I saw in addition to yours was Sonji. So I assumed I was playing with Sonji. So I
No,
don't know what the heck
that's
where that
weird. I
came
don't know what
from.
that's all about. I don't know.
I didn't just pull that name out of my
This guy's
ass.
name was like Crow. Literally just a guy I met playing the night before who
Very
happened to
nice
have a
guy.
mic. We were talking, we were helping each other do quests, and I was like, I popped on the next day, and I was like, oh, hey, by the way, I'm taking my dumbass noob friend who doesn't like games through a match. Would you mind being our third? And he was like, "Oh yeah, totally, yeah, great," and it worked out
It was
wonderful.
fun. It was fun. It was very
Nick
nice.
got a little peek into my world and sees
Yeah,
how I live my life, and
it's scary
I
out there.
think I think
But you know,
he
like
walked away with a new
to play a
appreciation.
devil's advocate here, or to be like the shit in the room, I suppose.
Oh,
Sure.
here we
Like
go.
Nick is also like a good sport on like game nights where he's played games, assuming everything's
Here it
working
comes.
properly. Once we get in there, he's a good sport about it, and like he's happy to like never play that game ever again. But he's
I knew
having a
that. I
good
knew this
time.
accusation was coming. I knew this
He's
accusation was
having a
coming.
good.
The stakes are higher here. I did pay $40 for this.
He
I'm
did.
gonna play more of it.
Sure,
I didn't.
sure.
I haven't had a ton of time to
You
play
know
video
what?
games in general this past few days.
And
So
here's the thing, man. Like, I'm not even fucking worried about it. If Nick never plays Marathon again, that's fine. I don't really care. This isn't like a Monster Hunter thing where I feel like, oh, you stopped before you really like understood what's going on here.
He
I
had a
don't
good taste of the
yeah,
I
experience.
feel
yeah.
like he had a
It
good
was a good taste.
taste. And not only that, like our session together was just really fun. Like it was
Yeah,
just fun. So I'm happy.
for
There's
I'm
a
sure.
glad
reason
that he
that
wasted
it's
$40 on a game he's never gonna play
That
again.
is, but I'm going to. That's the thing. I'm
well.
going
He
to.
can
Can I ask you?
afford it. He makes good money.
Yeah. Can I ask y'all like
He has
does
an electric lawnmower, you guys know.
yeah, but he's like thrifty and stuff, so he doesn't like to throw away his money. Can I ask you, did
How
y'all
do you know
have
about
any
my
good?
lawnmower?
Because you told me about it at your housewarming party.
Oh,
And remember, I was like making fun of you for being like, "Oh yeah, I really love this lawnmower."
that's
An
fair.
electric
That's fair.
lawnmower though, that must be
Yeah,
pretty.
that's
I don't know. I
Pretty
don't think I could ever.
smart.
But let me ask. Did y'all have any good like moments where y'all like
I told you about the good
converse?
moment.
No,
Oh.
no, no, no. Where y'all like conversated
Oh, with other
with
people?
strangers, or is it
Yeah,
just
with
shoot
our
on sight?
guns, we conversated in
Oh.
the language of violence, if that's what you're asking.
I
Because
didn't. Yeah, I
I
didn't.
feel like Nick is a great like straight man for like a Arc Raider style like we're plotting to murder these people as soon as they turn their backs, but we're going to be their friends for a little bit, like I feel like Nick is great in that situation to like be the straight man or whatever.
Were
Right?
you
Not
in the game where
I
we held up that rook? There was a game I was playing where like a rook was trying
oh.
to be friendly, and I like
I
ran
don't.
up on him with my gun, and I was like, "Get me off your fucking lawn, kill him!" And then he just started like vomiting loot out, and then as I was like turning my back to pick it up, he tried to stab me, and like one of my teammates like put him down and was just like, "He tried to kill you, bro." Like,
Dang, I don't even think did we even encounter a
that
rook
might not be.
that when we were playing the other
I
night?
don't. I thought we did. I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't.
not. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to tell.
But like I got to say I think Marathon's doing fine, right? Like they've leveled off, but like it's steady, right? Like
Yeah.
the
Oh,
numbers.
Crimson
But
Desert.
what I'm saying is like I feel like you need those moments on like TikTok and stuff, right? For a game to
Yeah.
like Arc
Yeah.
Raiders was a game that,
I, I,
pre-release, I don't think it
I
was
mean, if you're talking about the community, I mean, those moments are definitely out there.
they're
I
out there.
mean,
Okay,
my
I don't
feed
really
is
consume that sort of
pretty
social media,
crazy
so
with.
I
Well,
don't
one of the big like strats for Thief right now is like a completely goofy, like cheesy, janky thing to do, where you like put claymores on a drone and fly it around into people, and it like gets team wipes for free.
That's
Like it's kind of
that's wild.
ridiculous.
but
Yeah,
that's not like
it's kind of
social
ridiculous.
stuff. That's not there's good
There was a
social
guy. Yeah, no,
engineered like
That
fucking
sounds like good
interactions or
social
social
whatever.
content to
engine.
me.
Yeah. Well, I saw one today of a rook who had this like robotic pre-recorded message that he was like broadcasting as he was running around because he was trying to get people to not kill him so that he could do ARG stuff so that he could like solve puzzles for the
Which
Cryo Archive map,
which does look
which
really
was
cool.
pretty funny. It was pretty funny. Yeah, the Cryo Archive stuff is
How is he
crazy.
broadcasting something?
He's just using um the proximity chat.
Oh,
I don't
okay,
know if we
gotcha.
ever even like told you about that, but yeah, there's a key you hit where it makes your voice chat audible to anybody in
So
the
he
environment.
didn't talk to anybody at all that
I
night?
talked to my teammates, dude.
He was
I
just
didn't want to
talking to me.
be I didn't want to be.
I was talking to other people, but like, dude, Marathon is. I mean, just on its face, Marathon is not as much of a talky game as Arc Raiders is.
I know, I guess, but I
Like,
feel like that's at least got to be part of the extraction shooter thing, right?
I mean, it
Like,
is. It is in the game. It does happen. You can find clips of it really easily, but like playing in a 3-hour session, like, I mean, it's not gonna be super indicative of your experience. Most people are
hmm.
just gonna want your loot, and for good reason. Now we have like minimums that we need to be meeting, not just for Cryo Archive, but also
That's
for
actually a really cool.
rank.
Is that a concept that's implemented in other extraction shooters, or is that pretty
I don't know. I have no
new?
idea.
At
Because
any point, did y'all
that's kind of
team
cool.
up with other humans to work together to take something
No,
down?
fuck no.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. Okay.
You can't. I mean, like, no, no. I mean, there are definitely bosses where like it would be super beneficial to team up with other people to take this thing down because it is extremely difficult. But
Mm.
are you kidding me? I'm gonna get in a firefight with other teams and like turn my back on them while they're shooting guns? No, thank you.
They're gonna
No
take
Okay.
thanks.
easy pot
I
shots
like
at
my
you.
shit, actually. I'd like to extract with my credits, actually. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, he's got a good point because like if you take that gamble and lose, you're just throwing away loot, throwing
Mm.
away
I,
equipment.
I I did see a really cool video the other day where like a guy was solo and there was another solo and he was going for the extraction and this other guy was like shooting at him uh to kill him. And this guy shot that guy and downed him as the extraction was starting. And he was like, dude, just come on. Just, I'm not going to kill you. Just crawl out here and extract with me. I just didn't want to take the risk of you killing me. So I put you down. So, like, the guy still got to extract, but he was down. So he
Oh, I
couldn't,
thought you
like,
were about to tell me he just like capped him when he like, when he
no, no,
got
no,
into
no. He
the
didn't cap him. But he capped him to put him in
yeah,
down, right? But he was
so he
like,
can't take any shots.
yeah, he
Yeah.
was like, "I'm gonna cut your hands off so that you can't stab me, but I'm not gonna
Mhm.
kill you," you know?
That's the
That kind
stuff
of
that
thing.
plays well on social media, though. You
Yeah.
gotta
Well,
have
that's
the.
where I saw it, was on social media.
Yeah. Okay.
That's and even though I've only played about 3.5 hours of this game so far, I can definitely tell like
You
there's
kinda
those emergent
feel
moments are definitely there.
dude, you kinda feel where yeah, I mean, like so many of these kinds of games, I guess, or so many lifestyle games, it's so it's so much about just emergent moments coming out of like you play 5 or 6 matches and nothing really like noteworthy happens, or you die, or you just kill and you extract and there's not really a story to
And
tell.
then
And
something
then yeah,
happens.
and then something happens like at the last minute, suddenly out of nowhere you're like in this really weird tense cinematic situation
Like
where
that
you're like,
time
oh my god, this is the sauce, like you're
like that time we were playing Helldivers 2 with Nolan, and
ah,
didn't he like die trying to get to the extraction, and then he was like dropping back in as we were all getting ready to
right, and we
extract,
were
and we're
lifting
watching.
off as he was like running to the ship and he was like trying to get in.
He crashes and just runs straight out of the
Yeah,
thing, and he's
and it
like
was
books
like,
it and
yeah,
makes it on
it's
with
the
like
kind of
1 second to spare.
the kind of
Yeah,
moment that you can't really like manufacture. It just has to like happen.
I feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
Helldivers, an extraction mode for Helldivers feels inevitable.
Yeah,
Do
I
you think?
mean, I don't know. Isn't what?
I mean, isn't it?
I don't know. Why does it feel inevitable?
I mean, you extract it. Maybe I'm missing something. You extract from.
But there's no PvP, right? It's just
There's
PvE.
True.
there's
Yeah.
you can kill your own teammates,
A
but
key
Which
it's
part of
but it's
well, yeah,
like,
a key part of the extraction shooter is the PvE. Like
right,
there's threat that a
right.
bad person
That
on the other
way,
side of the internet is going to take all your shit.
right. That somebody else who's better than you wants your gun and is
Yeah.
gonna bully you for it. Yeah.
Helldivers has enough. I mean, yeah,
I feel like that would be pretty antithetical to the whole vibe.
Helldivers
Helldivers was
extreme.
so huge though. Like I know Helldivers was as well, but like I don't know. I feel like that maybe I don't know. It seems like it's perfect for that already. I don't know.
Maybe.
Hmm.
But wouldn't it be weird if you were a Helldiver fighting other Helldivers?
Well,
Wouldn't that
maybe.
take the whole, like fun human racism aspect of that game away.
I mean, if you play as one of the other factions.
Yes.
Like, you can't be one of those, like, humans first chuds if you're just, like, spending all your time killing and getting killed by
Alright.
humans.
That's fair. That is fair.
Did they
We
make
should-
us hate Helldivers, or we don't like Helldivers now?
Oh,
No,
I don't.
Helldivers
I
is
like
rad.
Helldivers. I don't like people who like Helldivers. I like Helldivers.
So I don't like myself.
we should
Um,
we should look back into Helldivers 2. They added that new faction. They've added a ton of shit.
I had a blast when we played Helldivers too. So
There's no
just
It's a fun
tension,
game.
though, man.
yeah.
Just-
Can I just say before we move on from Marathon, I'm kind of in love with like this game's just vibe and aesthetic.
Nick's a
I know,
Bungie
I know,
fan.
I know that's obvious, but I just it's got my number, man. The like even like when I go into like do an objective and I'm like hacking shit and I'm just like watching the animation for you like plugging shit in and like hitting buttons and stuff. I'm just like, oh yeah,
That's right.
This is the sauce. I
A
don't
lot
know.
of the like the industrial design of like
Yeah.
what things are and how they look is just like really
Yeah.
fucking wild. Yeah, dude, like they released a new banner for the Destroyer as like a achievement. I don't know what it's a reward for, but like it's the Destroyer shell standing holding like the spine and skull of another shell, but it's all like artificial. Like it doesn't look like a spine. It looks like blocks with like little
Ah.
squares with like branding on it and shit like that. And it's like, oh yeah, that's totally what the bones of this guy would look like. That's crazy.
It's
I don't
fucking
know.
rad.
The whole fucking look of this game is sick as hell. Look at that, 6,000 credits, Nicholas. Nicholas. If they ever implement like trading between players and you're not playing this game anymore, give me your shit.
All right, deal. Done. All right, Brad, you're the host now. Where are we going from
I'm
here?
not the fucking host, man, but I will
sure
talk
are.
about what I've been playing if you want to know. I don't.
I guess. I thought
That's
you
all
had
I was gonna
more-
do.
Yeah, what's
I was
going on
gonna
with
see
Slay the
how
Spire
y'all are
2?
doing.
Oh, I'm doing
What's up
good.
with Slay the Spire too?
You know, I mean, look, I got to be
Still
completely
streaming?
honest with y'all. I have been playing a lot more Slay the Spire too, but when a game,
That just surprises nobody.
but I mean, like, I said that I was probably gonna like chill a little bit so I can play some new shit to talk about on the podcast. Well, that didn't really
lied.
happen because when I'm playing other things, I kind of just want to be playing Slay the Spire too. And it's not. I'm not trying to like diss the other games like Monster Hunter Stories 3, which when I get around to it, will be great. I'm sure. I did play a tiny bit, but it's just it's like, what is this? There's a story here. Come on, man. I just want to play some
Can't
Slay the
focus.
Spire. Yeah, because my love of Slay the Spire doesn't just extend to playing Slay the Spire, but I watched a lot of people play Slay the Spire over the years, like different Slay the Spire content creators, whatever. And now that Slay the
As one
Spire
does.
2's out, they're going so hard on streaming the stuff that I kind of, and some of them are, there's like your Northern Lions who are just like, sometimes it's hard to watch because he's making like horrible choices, that sort of thing. And then but then some of the other people I've watched are like some of the best players in the world. And it's fascinating to see their first reactions to like new things and changes and stuff, but just kind of like how the process, how they evolve from like making some like that discovery period to like really figuring shit out. And, I find that kind of fascinating, just, some of the people I watch can talk, about a single card like all day long. And I'm here for
That's
that.
what you
I don't know.
aspire to be.
No, I don't want to be that because I don't really engage with the game on that level. I play it a lot, but it's not like that. These are people that make their living off of like streaming Slay the Spire every day. There are literally people who have been streaming Slay the Spire and other stuff, but like basically since 2018 when it came out. Or that was one point. Wait, when did Slay the Spire launch into early access? I think it was like 2018 or something, right? It's been a long fucking time.
Sounds right.
Its
Or maybe
initial
it-
release was 2017.
2017. Oh, and it didn't even
It
hit
didn't
1.0
go
until
1.0 until 2019.
whoa.
But it was
that's
November
crazy.
2017, so it was almost 2018.
Okay. I'm saying like people like literally they make a living off of it. So that's not I can't even get like 3 people in chat when I stream Slay the Spire. So, that's giving that up. But it is what I want to be streaming, right? Like people are, Brad, play what you want. That's what we want. And I'm like, I knew they were liars like 20 years ago, just like I knew they were liars 10 years ago. And I certainly know they're liars now when they say, really, we just want you to play what you want to play. They've always been full of shit. I've always called them out as full of shit. And I just want them to admit that they were full of shit the entire fucking time. Just once. Say, you know what, Brad? You're right. I only want to watch you play Fatal Frame. You going to get that remake, dog?
Speaking of
You
which,
know what I'm saying?
I was planning on talking about that this week. I started it, but I didn't get very far, so I'm going to save it for next week.
In Fatal Frame?
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about it right now.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Can I add another reason I have not been playing much Monster Hunter Stories 3, I guess, is that I did get it on PlayStation because it kind of runs like ass on the Switch too, and I'm like, fuck that, right? And
That's crazy.
that it runs like ass on Switch too. Well, I mean, it just runs
know.
like I don't know. It's 30.
It seems like of all
FPS
the platforms,
and there's like a stutter. It's not acceptable.
I mean, wasn't Stories 1 and 2 originally exclusive to the Switch until they did the ports?
No.
Or what am I thinking of?
The first one was a 3DS game, first of all. And then the second one came to like PC like day and date. But besides the point, I purchased a copy of Pokemon Pokopia, and Henry has been playing the hell out of that. Henry and Griffin even. I was going to talk about it in my 4-player minute, but I'll talk about it now because it's the gaming that's been going on in my house. Pokemon Pokopia, yeah. So it's spring break, so they've been kind of, hanging out around the house a lot because, their parents work. And so they've been playing Pokemon Pokopia, or Henry mostly has, right? Which I don't know if you're familiar with that game. Maybe I'll play. I've been watching and going, oh man, I kind of want to be playing this.
Because it's like Dragon Quest Builders with no combat, right?
Yes, exactly. It's very much Dragon Quest Builders with Pokemon. But instead of all those random like NPCs in your town, they're like Charmander and shit, which is funny because they have like you have conversations with them and they have personalities and some of them are weird. But the thing that I found really fascinating is the game share thing. I've always known it existed, but this is the first time that I've seen it in practice, right? Griffin he's 4. He doesn't really play games yet, but he likes to watch Henry and he's really into it, and more he's been like, I want to play, let me play. And it's hard to just give him Henry's controller because then he's like just fucking up the camera and doing nothing, and Henry's there like shaking because he's so desperately wants to play his new Pokemon Pokopia game, right? He's like, come on, give it back. And but Griffin's beyond the age where we can just give him like a 360 controller and go, you're playing too. He's too old for that. That is the shit
that used to work.
Oh, absolutely. I did it with Henry when he was young, and we did it with Griffin when he was younger. But now that doesn't work. But the game share thing is crazy. Obviously, I only have one Switch 2. Pokemon Pokopia is a Switch 2 exclusive. Henry has a Switch 1. You can do multiplayer with one Switch 2, one copy of Pokemon Pokopia, but Henry, yeah, with the Switch 1, you can play Pokopia multiplayer. Like, not even same screen. You have your own character running around with your own camera angles and stuff, and you're playing with the same game as the person on the TV. So Henry actually plays, when they're playing together, he's playing on a Switch 1. A Switch 1 playing Pokemon Pokopia, and Griffin is holding the controller playing on the TV. That's crazy. Like that's so cool that you don't even have to have two Switch 2s. You don't have to have another copy of the game. And like multiplayer is limited, but that's like game based, right?
So
limited
if
like
that's the case, why is there not a version for the original Switch?
because it can't run. It doesn't run. It wasn't made for the Switch One. It's just
So is it just
beaming.
streaming to the Switch one?
It's
Yeah.
streaming to the Switch One. But like I
Ah,
thought when it did this, it was going to be like same screen multiplayer. Like it was just maybe a copy of the screen or something. Kind of
yeah.
like but it's not that. It's his own like game instance of his character. Like I'm saying, they can be on separate parts of the island doing their own things
Their own
in
dedicated
3D,
camera and
which
all
is
this.
crazy
Yeah.
because they are just beaming the game to the Switch One. That's super cool, and like they're playing like hide and seek and shit, which is, I mean, that Griffin can't really like, he's not very good at like doing the like building houses and shit, but he is good at like I don't know, like they're having such a fun time just running around the island, like beating each other up and like playing hide and seek and stuff. And I'm like, this is like
Oh.
Nintendo really kind of nailed it with the game share thing to let them do it with the Switch One, because I think there's a lot of households like mine that
Oh
have kids
yeah. I
have
mean,
with one Switch too, because I mean, kids usually are playing like hand-me-down handhelds and stuff, not really like. I mean, I'm sure there's like rich
I bet there's
families out there that
tons of
have Switch.
houses
Yeah.
that have Switch 2s and Switch 1s. Because I mean, I just feel like the trade-in value on a Switch 1 probably wasn't even enough to like
Well, actually,
be
these days,
enticing.
technology is in such a fucked up place where everything's holding its value because nothing's ever dropping in price. In fact, I always tell Henry, don't drop that fucking Switch One, man. They're not easy. I mean, like, they're not cheap. Even if he breaks a Switch One, that's not easily replaced, man. Video games it's different now. Like that shit, you probably get a lot trading into a GameStop a Switch One.
Dude, I started like it's gotten to the point where like because we're starting to hear conversations because GDC just happened. I was listening to Digital Foundry this week and they're talking all about Project Helix and fucking PlayStation 6 and stuff, and I'm just sitting here thinking
I
about
don't
like
want those. I don't want
I
them.
don't want to think about
No.
new hardware right now. Like it
No.
I just don't.
How silly do you feel for ever considering getting a PlayStation 5 Pro? Like that must be like a insane purchase, right? Like you must feel like I would feel bad if the PS6 came out next year. I'd be like, "Oh my god, like that feels gross." I feel like I just bought my PS5. But imagine if you just bought like a PS5 Pro that was like how much money?
Yeah. I
Like
mean, I don't
that
think
must
this
feel
I don't
fucking
think
terrible.
I don't think any new hardware is
$700
coming for
easily.
at least another 2 years, but still that's close.
Well,
That's
rumors
sooner
are
than I
saying
would have.
2027, man. I don't know.
We'll see.
Depends
But,
on how long this fucking RAM crisis goes.
Brad, I have a question.
Yeah.
In regards to the using a controller that's not plugged in to trick a small child.
Yeah.
Is there
It
a
works, yeah.
point? Yeah, is there a point where like you do it and they're like, "Dog, this doesn't work. You're lying to me."
No.
Or does it just get to a point where you're like, "I don't think I can pull this off anymore." You're like, "I think you'll see through it," but you
They
never
call
actually tested
they
it.
call him on his
Have
bullshit,
you
and then
ever
they start
been
to realize.
called? Yeah, has Henry or Griffin ever like called you on that bluff, being like, "Yo, I don't think this works." Like,
think Dad's
No,
lying
no,
to me.
it's mostly like us going, we can't do this anymore. And I don't think it would work. I mean, it's
he probably could have gotten some more mileage out of it. Then
no, he's too old now. He's too old.
he
and
just would have thought it
savvy.
was a shitty game. That's all.
No.
Not
Be-
that
be-
his father was lying to him.
No, because even like they have to be pretty young. Because even if they've like interacted with like a tablet or something, they've seen like that the things that they're doing are making the game react, right? So
Yeah, their brains are just wired like that now.
yeah. Griffin's such a little shit though. Yeah, I don't talk about my kids like in terms of like their personalities and stuff that much, I might say just like actions, right? But like, oh man, he's always been like a fucking grumpy Gus, dude. Ever since he was fucking born, from like infant age to now, that dude gets like in such moods, man. Like he does things, turn around and fucking do this shit, and I'll be just like man, you just can't get him out of his funk, and that's what's been happening with like the video game, where it's like, all right, we need to give it back so like Henry could actually make some fucking progress in this goddamn game, because he really wants to play it, man. He gets so pissed. It's funny. It's so funny.
When you
It's really
do
bad though because Malia is really bad about not laughing when they do some ridiculous shit like this. And I'm like, yeah, you gotta not show them that this shit is funny to you. Uh, but yeah, man, I don't know.
do when you play multiplayer in Pokopia, are you both just playing the strange Ditto child, or
Yeah, yeah.
does
Yeah,
somebody
I
get to
mean, you're
be?
your own looking character. Like a lot of these types of games, it is limited. It's not limited because of game share. It's limited because, like in Animal
That's
Crossing or
pretty
whatever, that
shameless.
yeah, you're not loading in a real character. You're just like palling
Yeah.
around with like, you can't do as
Yeah, a
much as you
little
would.
goop clone. I gotcha.
Yeah, kind of. But I don't know. It's been cool. Like that is a really neat game that I like Dragon Quest Builders a lot, so I'm like, I want to do this, and I get frustrated when Henry is just kind of like fucking around. It's like, no, come on, you got to progress. You got to progress.
Because you
There's gonna
gotta
be
take this
more
shit
cool shit.
seriously.
There's gonna be more cool shit. You got to keep going. He's like, well, I want to wander on the grass, and I'm like, dude, who gives a
Fuck the
shit?
grass.
Go do the main quest. I want to see the next Pokemon. Yeah. Anyways. That's what's been going on video game related in my household. I
Hey, Crispy,
suppose.
what little time I've had, I've actually been playing more Death Stranding 2. That game is
Yo, did you see
fucking
the
crazy.
announcements they made for that game? They're like adding new
No.
shit to it. You haven't
Like
seen
what?
this? They're
No.
adding a fucking Metal Gear Solid like
What the fuck?
homage mode where like you do these VR missions, you can unlock Solid Snake's bandana, and then they have
What?
like new VR missions where you're like doing sneaking missions with like a trank
But
gun
it's
and
not.
shit
It's
Is
like
not
that.
Konami
like.
just letting him do this now?
Is
Well,
it?
they're
Is
not
it?
calling it Metal Gear Solid,
Okay.
but
Okay. It's not like a
but
collab.
but it's like, yeah, I think the new mission was called like In a Strange World or something like
It's
that.
like what they did with Death Stranding Director's Cut when it came to PC. They had a Metal Gear style content exclusive for it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember there was a
Yeah.
cardboard box involved. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, something like that. But they're doing another one for Death Stranding too, and then I think there's also like some other like small changes they're making. I don't know.
Can I just
How
say
how
this
much?
game is so goddamn good.
Oh my god!
Ugh,
Oh my
So
god!
good. So
You
good.
don't. Yeah, you don't have to fucking tell me,
just the
dog.
feature sets.
Tell the
The feature
people.
set. The
Tell the
fucking
people.
feature set, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's so many
I
tools at
know.
my disposal, and I'm like, when am I gonna have time to like use any of these like extensively? Because there's just so many tools. Like, I have a dog mine you can like drop out there.
Yeah.
That will run towards enemies and explode. But like, I also have like 14 other different kinds of mines and tools and
Oh
shit that I
yeah.
can use in combat. Like,
It's
oh my god,
overwhelming.
I
I mean,
finally got to use the coffin
it
thing.
is such a like refinement, such a glow up from the first one, which like already was, by the time they did the director's cut and like the PC version of the first one was already like pretty refined.
Yeah.
I think this is the kind of game that like a lot of people who just didn't get the first one, which that's kind of how I feel about it. I feel like if you didn't like it, it's because you didn't get it. But
Yep.
I feel like this game could make a believer out of a lot of those people. But I don't know. I mean, because
I,
it was a
I
little divisive these days. Maybe people just don't want to have
I
fun.
did
I don't know. But
I
but
did 2
like,
deliveries last night where that involved me literally scaling a mountain on
yes,
foot.
dude, the mountain shit gets crazy in this game.
And like, but
Like
like
being up in the mountains is
it
such
took
a
me like
like
20 minutes of just like trudging through the snow.
yes, yes,
And
yes.
my
And
wife
then
walked in and she's like, "This looks boring as hell." I'm like, "It's not."
yeah, and you're
It's
like,
not.
I want a divorce. Like, like you're
Uh,
not the woman I married. Like, uh, yeah, and then like you're like laying down like zip lines and shit through the mountain, like which is particularly cool because like with zip lines, unlike the highways, like you are the one deciding
where they go.
the placement of like how these routes are gonna go. Like, man, I had that mountain strung up so thoroughly. It was insane, like how far I could get on like zip lines throughout that world by the end of the game.
I
It
have
was
I have a newbie question here because I feel like I should know
yeah,
the answer to this, but like I keep running into an issue. Like like the reason I'm hoofing it so much on the mountains is because I'm out of chiral bandwidth. I can't make any more zip
yeah,
lines.
yeah,
How
yeah.
do I
So
increase the chiral bandwidth?
you need to add more shelters to the network. You need to get more people. And let me tell you something, in the back half of that
Wait,
game,
shelters.
yeah, if you're not like looking at a guide or something, you might not know there's a bunch of like optional shelters, like optional survivors, people who give you stuff. People like shelters, like the
Yeah.
the structures that you're like adding onto the network, right? As you
Yeah.
add those onto the network, they increase the bandwidth and they increase the effective area
But
of
don't
the
you have to
chiral
get a
network.
delivery from someone to take you to one of these
Yes,
networks?
Sometimes.
and some of these deliveries you will only get that if you like find a piece of cargo in the wild.
Yes.
You'll like find a piece of cargo and it's like, take this to the slime philanthropist or whatever their
Yeah.
name is.
Yeah.
And you're like, who the
There's
fuck is that? And then you
the
go find them, and then like it turns out they give you like the coolest shotgun in the game, or they give you like
Yeah. I mean,
these really neat
I've
patches.
I've
Yeah, yeah.
definitely found them, but like
There's a
I've
lot
been
of
doing a
those in
lot
the
of
mountain and on
main
the
deliveries.
backside of, or the southern end of Australia. There's a lot
Yeah.
of them, and especially at the end of the game, they're not really requiring you to connect a lot of these places,
no.
but you absolutely should be. Like,
Maybe I'm missing some because like I've been doing a lot of main orders, which so I'm in chapter 9 and it's
Did you get
sounding like they said I've hooked up 85% of Australia at this point.
have you been increasing your like ratings with each of the shelters too?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you should be
Doing sub
spending
orders?
like yeah, not just sub orders or just like lost cargo or anything, like, because also increasing that star rating going from like 4 star to 5 stars
Yeah.
increases the bandwidth cap. It
Yeah.
also, like, a lot of them, you're saying, yeah, like,
Well, I
obviously,
mean, like
like, I'm explaining, like,
I never leave a shelter without like an order, a main order and a sub order. Like
okay.
I'm going places and I'm
But
with the
are you
intention
getting,
of
like, how many stars, like, are you up to on some of these? Have you, like, maxed out any
I've
of
maxed
them?
out a couple and I'm at like 3 or 4 on most of the other ones.
Some of them you should be maxing out, like, as soon as possible, because, like,
Yes.
some of the final rewards for these shelters are crazy good.
Yeah.
Like, the best boots
Yeah.
in the game are a 5th star reward for one of the distribution centers, I think. The best you have to max out a
Getting
different
to
one to
5
get, like,
stars
the
at one of
best.
the main distribution centers takes a
It takes
lot.
a lot.
It
Yeah,
does.
From
Yeah.
because,
4 to
like,
5 takes a
the
lot.
jump from 4 to 5 is a lot bigger
Yeah.
than going from,
It
like,
doesn't
1 to
sound like
3.
y'all are talking about art anymore.
But see,
What are you
what you
talking
do
about?
is that, like, you
I
just
hate you,
when you
Brad.
find loose cargo out in the world for a destination, you pick it up and then you put
Yeah.
it in your private locker at one of your sites. And then once
Hang on
you
a
have a
second.
bunch, then you deliver it.
I wanna make some hay out of that derogatory remark Brad just made, okay?
Mhm.
Because what do you mean we're not talking about art? Is art just narrative to you? Is art just pretty aesthetics? Can't
Hideo
gameplay
Kojima.
itself be art? Can't a system encapsulating the vibe and story of the
Playing
game be part of the art of the game? Are you saying that the numbers aren't art? Are you saying that the mechanics aren't art? Because I don't accept that. I don't accept that as a blanket.
letting yourself like get fully involved in like the gameplay loop slash flow of Death Stranding 2 for any serious amount of time makes an argument that this is not art laughable.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, that game is beautiful, and one of the main, like, the people who really, like, get it and engage with it, the people, like, one of the main ways you're gonna interact with that game is by doing, like, what might be considered some, like, mindless grinding. But that is what puts you out in the world. That is what gives you, like, the beauty of, like, oh, seeing the sun come up over the mountains and being like, man, this game is fucking beautiful. Because you're, like, trying to bust ass maxing out your stars on one of the distribution centers, not because you're like eager to see the next story mission or anything. You know what I
which
mean?
the story
Like,
missions are
that
pretty good.
is part of the art, Brad. And I know you know this. I'm not yelling at you, Brad, but there are impressionable listeners listening to this show, hopefully, and they might be like, yeah, that's a good point, Brad. Fucking numbers and better shotguns isn't art, and they're wrong, Bradley. They're wrong. It is. It
Hey,
is.
Thanks
I
for
love
laying
this
it
energy.
out, Crispy.
I
Thanks for
love this
laying it
energy. I absolutely love it. Hey, there's also something really crazy special about like realizing somebody else finished building something you were trying to like
Yeah.
complete. Like
Yeah.
I came back
That
to a
was the
place that
art. That's the art.
I
Especially
came
the
back.
highways and shit where you're like, I'm never gonna get enough materials. I'm never gonna get enough resin to build this fucking
Yeah.
highway. And then like you level something up or you progress the story a little bit and somebody else finished it for you and you're like, oh thank God, I can drive
Somebody finished a
another
monorail for
mile.
me the other day,
Like,
and I
yeah.
was like, "Oh,
Yes! That
oh."
feels huge, doesn't it? You're like, "Oh my
Yes.
God, I can finally like transport large amounts of cargo." And I can't tell you why the feeling of being excited about shipping large amounts of cargo and logistics is art, but it is.
I agree.
Go fuck
I
yourself.
agree. Go fuck yourself. All right. Let's talk about Crimson Desert reviews. They're out.
Dude.
I feel like this is a good place to take it. So we talked a little bit about this the past few weeks because obviously we're all kind of like watching all these trailers for Crimson Desert and along with the rest of the world and just kind of like everybody's been kind of waiting to find out if it's an actual video game, that if what we're seeing is smoke and mirrors or if it's, real. And I remember I think Brad made a comment last week that like it's either going to be like a 2 or like a 10. You know what I mean? Like it's either not real, like we've all just been bamboozled this entire time and it's shit, or it's going to be the most incredible fucking game ever made.
And now the
And
reviews are all 2s and 10s.
the review, I wouldn't say
They're not.
it's not that divisive.
Yeah.
It is sitting right now,
A little
albeit with only about 45 reviews at the moment, 44
Well, if you look
reviews.
at Metacritic, kind of it's different.
I look at OpenCritic because we do Fantasy Critic here, and that's what I go.
I know, but very early on when reviews first come out, and there's like there is 94 reviews on Metacritic, which is a
Damn,
significant difference.
What the fuck, man? Why is
like
OpenCritic
now
taking
2 weeks
forever?
from now it might not be that different, but sometimes on day one it could be better to look at the one that has like dramatically more reviews. With that said,
Right.
it's a 78 on Metacritic with 94 reviews. So
Which is
they're
not. It skews lower on Metacritic, right, than OpenCritic.
Yeah, but that's not
typically?
98 70s. That's like a bunch of 6s and a bunch of 9s, like mixing together.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like, you know
Not
what I mean?
like so many 6s. There's a lot of 7s as well. But
I
yeah,
mean,
because
Look, I'm calling it
it's
now.
averaging out to about an 80, high 70s.
Yeah.
to
dude,
an
which
80.
is respectable.
it's giving misunderstood masterpiece.
If you look
I'm
at the
being-
actual like breakdown on Metacritic of like the favorability, 74% positive, 25% are mixed, and only 1% are negative. So like that's
I don't know
not bad.
how they like draw that number.
Yeah,
honestly,
especially
but
when some scores.
I think
may have
it's
different
when something
scales.
is below a 50, it's negative.
Yeah. But
Which
even
is
if that
not
were the
really-
case, that only amounts to 1 out of 94, or sorry, this says 85 critic reviews. Maybe, I don't know. Whatever. The point is, and a lot of the reviews, the few reviews that I like actually read through, like they were like, I've played this game for like 100 to 150 hours, and it's like, okay, that's a video game. Like it's, you had to have something to do for those 100 to 150 hours, and that's pretty crazy. Like this is just one of those games where it's like every time you watch a trailer, you're like, holy shit, they just keep showing different aspects of it, like jetpacks and dragons and fucking sky islands and Devil May Cry style like third person action, and just all, and not to mention just like a massive open world with all kinds of traversal and stuff and puzzles. It's like, it seems like it's probably flawed. I mean, I think we all expected it. Even if it was like good, it's going to
Sure.
be flawed.
And like there's probably some really weird choices in this. Like the one that I keep seeing people talk about is like, why is the main character like a named main character when like he doesn't have much presence in the story? It kind of feels like this should have been a
Avatar for the
customizable
player.
like like build a character kind of thing, but it's not that, which I mean honestly maybe I would have liked it more so to be that, right? I would
Yeah.
have enjoyed that more than them just making us play this beardy guy. Or like these other 2 characters that are added in that you can unlock, where like one of the reviews I read, which was positive, said they didn't even unlock the first or the big orc guy until like 100 hours into playing it. Like they didn't even unlock him until like way into the game, and they don't have any sense of like progression or like continuity with the main character, right? So like
Mhm.
you're putting all your time leveling up and gearing up the main guy, and then you've got to play with these other people that are not
Yeah.
as like refined, Weird decision. There's a lot of people are calling it out, and it's probably true. I think we know it's true, but like there's a lot of decisions that kind of seem to belie the fact that this game was something else before it is whatever it is now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it
Well, I
was
mean, and
like an
it comes
MMO or it was
from
something else.
like
Yeah.
I was
The
surprised
word
to
MMO
see.
is being tossed around a lot
No,
to
but like
describe.
so this is the developer of Black Desert Online, which is an MMO
Yeah.
that was in this universe basically. I hear that a lot of like the systems in this game like come from that game. Like that was an MMO known for like a lot of like different things you can do outside of just like fighting things, right? Like a lot of these side systems and shit. Um I think like this is not a situation like where like the Lies of P developer used to make an MMO type game and now they just make something completely different. A Souls like this is very kind of an MMO with the
Their
other
previous work
people
is bleeding
pulled
into
out.
this for
Absolutely. I
sure.
mean, even the
Or
name. I
it's
mean,
a Kingdoms of Amalur kind of situation where this
But that
was
was a
going to be.
that was a tragedy.
well, yeah, that's a whole
No,
other
no, no,
can of
but like
worms. There
that
was going to be
game
two. There was going to be an MMO as well. Yeah.
Oh.
no, that game was going to be the MMO.
No,
And then they
Amalur was not never.
restarted it.
No. Amalur, the actual MMO never got off the ground. This Amalur was a side game by a different studio in that universe that the MMO never launched in. That
But
that
the
Amalur
but
was
the
never going to be the MMO.
no, but the bones of whatever, maybe it wasn't Kingdom of Amalur when they started developing it, but the bones
Just the
of whatever
universe.
that game was originally designed with MMO in mind.
The universe was, yeah. The MMO came first. Like the from the concept of like, dude, I literally read the Jason Schreier book about it. Well, yeah. He had a whole thing about
Jason Schreier,
the crazy
The
development of
president
that.
of video games.
the president of
Don't
video
you know?
games.
No, he's the journalist of video
He
games.
said
Dude.
he said he's only played a few hours, so take his opinion with a grain of salt, but that he really didn't like it. That he really
What?
didn't like Crimson
Wait,
Desert.
wait,
Crimson
Crimson Desert? Oh,
Yeah, he said the
well,
first few hours have made me very much not want to keep playing.
Dang.
is this like a Dragon's
But
Dogma
this
sort of
kind of
thing?
feels like one of those things too, where it's like if these little bits of friction make you bounce before you've played 20 hours, you might feel like you've wasted your time and money, but like if you get over that hump, you're gonna find something that's like pretty crazy.
You know
like
what it
pretty
reminds me of? Or
unlike other games.
you know what the game that I think of most when I think of this game? It's not like I know a lot of people go to Dragon's Dogma. To me, it reminds me of Xenoblade Chronicles X, which like
Yeah.
the other Xenoblade games were very, very story driven in a way that X was more about like the world and the systems, and you had to play a whole bunch of it before you even got a mech, and then another 30 hours before that mech was like flying.
Yeah.
And it was really just in
I
like
just saw
the quest
Flavor of
design felt
Xenoblade.
very MMO-y and stuff, and like the stuff you were doing out in the world felt very MMO-y, but it was just so amazing, like the way the world looked and your freedom to like fly around.
Both of the
hubs.
I saw
both of the
a
reviews I
Xenoblade
read.
Chronicles X post like yesterday. I was just mentioning it because you brought it up,
Mhm.
where like someone posted a screenshot of their mech and they're like, "I finally got a mech and now combat is good." And it's like that feels like one of those things that a reviewer would ding a game for,
Yeah.
but that game will still be somebody's like favorite game of all time. Like
Yeah.
because there is something in there where it's like, yeah, I suffered through a lot of jank to get to this part of the game that is like actually incredibly sick, and I feel accomplished for having survived the jank instead
Yeah.
of just being like, no, this is a bad video game, and like going and playing something else, right?
I think
Like all these old white men don't understand Crimson Desert, right?
Careful
Like,
now, careful. I feel like we're butting
these
right up against
unks and
that.
grognards like just are bouncing because it's not like a completely smooth, like polished experience. That it's got some weirdness, it's got some jank, it's got some flatness to it. It's got some more Eastern sensibilities maybe than Western. Like but like I I don't think I trust a lot of these people on this particular game. I think a lot of these people also were saying that Dragon's Dogma 2 sucked, and that's just a fucking lie. Like that's just not
No,
true.
They said
Like
Dragon's Dogma 1 sucked. Dragon's Dogma 2 got really good reviews,
no, but
actually.
some of these people
But
also
they're the same game.
I've seen
The
people
narrative, buddy.
mention Dragon's Dogma 2 derogatorily in their review of Crimson Desert.
Which
And
is
that should
like
be a red flag.
that's stupid, right? Like that's
Yeah.
that's a bad take. But I heard that the inventory in the UI in this is tragic, which is funny. I was looking up Black Desert online reviews like today to see what people said about that game, because that game is also like in the 70s, and one of the big complaints was like how grindy it was. One of the complaints was about how they have all this shit going on, but it's like too shallow or whatever. But a big one that almost every review mentioned is like that the fucking UI and inventory is a fucking tragedy. And it's so funny to hear the same complaints about Crimson Desert, which
Apparently they also patched in like more inventory space during the review period for the people who were reviewing the game.
yeah.
So that-
Hopefully this is a game
Jeez.
that's going to get updated a lot. I mean, like a Monster Hunter game does, right? Like some of the problems that Monster Hunter has aren't really problems anymore. But that's also a series that like their inventory stuff is so bad.
Listen, I know you guys probably don't really follow or know who Paul Tassi is, but he's the games editor for Forbes. Or no, he's not the editor, but he's one of the game guys at Forbes, and he's also kind of like in the game industry, maybe like one of the like looter shooter lifestyle game guys. Like he's a big Destiny, he's a big Bungie guy, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he's a guy whose opinion I understand. I don't always agree with it. And in fact, a lot of times I'll watch his videos. He does like these weekly videos where he's talking about like what's happening in Destiny this week. And I'll stop the video halfway through because I'm like, all right, Paul, whatever. Like he has a lot of doom and gloom. He has a lot of like pragmatism in some of his reviews or in some of his opinions that I just kind of, don't vibe with sometimes.
Right.
I respect his opinion. I think he knows what he's talking about. I just disagree on some of the more, ephemeral parts of a game, right?
Right.
He gave this game a 95. He said it's
Dang.
fucking crazy. He agrees with a lot of the criticisms that people have been putting out there. But he still says this is like one of the craziest games I've ever played, and the sense of exploration is insane.
I
Like,
honestly think that like all the weirdness and uncertainty makes this game more exciting. Like the prospect of like playing it, trying it, and playing it to see where I stand on it is more exciting. Because I'm
oh,
not going because like it could either be like a
yeah.
95 like across the board, and it's like okay, I know it's gonna be amazing.
Mostly, like a lot of times, bad reviews kind of shut down your excitement. This game,
Yeah.
it's making me more excited. Like it's
Yeah.
making
Which
me
I
more
get
like,
that.
what is going
It's
on
gonna be
here?
it's gonna
You
be an
know?
interesting conversation once some of us have played it here.
I'm
for
glad
sure.
it's not a Biomutant situation,
Yeah.
which was a game that like pre-release like people seemed really excited about because it looked really nice, showed well in trailers. Some people played at E3 and said the combat felt amazing.
It was one of my favorite games of the show at
I
E3
just
that
I
year.
just feel like as we enter into like think about all this shit with like Nvidia and AI and all this shit. Like in
Yeah.
5 years, anything that has like a human touch or has like idiosyncrasy to it or like weird flaws, like I feel like we are going to look back on this game fondly and be like, I don't know, man, maybe we were a little rough on that game at the time. Maybe we would be lucky to have a Crimson Desert these days, Like
For some reason, I more
I feel like
associate
this is a
this with
game.
like AI than not. I mean, no, that's not what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I think maybe from our perspective right now, that's kind of true. Like it has some of these things that we're like trained to be like, is this AI? Is this not AI? But like, dude, that's gonna get so much worse. And this game is probably, for all of its weirdness and its flaws and its purported, lack of depth or whatever, I don't know. I could very easily see a world in 5 years where someone like Jacob Geller is like waxing philosophical about
Uh-oh.
how we all like missed this gem in the rough 5 years ago.
Except for
But
the
this-
fact that like it has like catapulted to become like one of the most talked about games of the year so far before it's even out. So I don't think that's ever going to be a problem. Like I think people are going to play this in droves at this point.
Yeah, it's gonna be successful, I think, just from like the amount of people I hear talking about it.
Yeah.
It is like one thing to know about Jacob Geller is that this is his type of like game. Like he is
Oh,
like
I know.
you associate him with like a art game like essayist, but like
Well,
Devil May
I-
Cry is also his shit. You know,
No,
he
no.
loves.
I think of him as an art game essayist because he is really good at finding art in things that maybe don't seem as
Yeah.
pretentious. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely hits those pretentious games too, but like
yeah.
think like him talking about Dragon's Dogma, I was very
Yeah.
much like, this guy gets it. Like,
Yeah.
like I think, and I'm not just talking necessarily about him. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if in 5 years people are making very serious like video essays about stuff that maybe mentions this game. Maybe not the game specific. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe next week I will feel like a fool. Maybe next week I'll come back here and be like, nope, this game does suck.
So who
I don't
all
know.
here is gonna play this, or what
I
are we getting
pre-ordered
this
it,
on?
so
I'm gonna play it. So here's my question, because the kind of the elephant in the room is that obviously all the review codes out there are for PC. There's no mention yet about PlayStation,
Oh,
but I did
Okay.
see an
So,
article
this
It
is a game
is
where
yesterday that
I
It
would
is on
assume
console, but they
tragedy.
just like haven't been talking about the console.
I would assume
Well,
tragedy.
I saw an
honestly.
article the other day, and grain of salt, because this was pre embargo lifting, and I don't even know, but like somebody said they got their hands on a PS5 copy and were running it on a base PS5, and it was remarkably stable.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
again, I say take that with a
How
huge
much of
grain
the
of
game
salt,
was he
because
playing?
Remarkably stable
like he was actually like
is a fun
he was.
compliment.
I mean, he was getting into more nitty gritty than that. I'm just kind of giving you the
No,
10,000-foot view of what he
alright.
was talking about, and I don't know for sure if that's accurate or not. Sleepy Nights in chat says Digital Foundry got a PS5 Pro copy, but only for the Pro. So none of us here have Pros. But also, I have yet to find a game that doesn't run perfectly fine on the base PS5. You know what I mean? Like Ghost of Yote was like,
No, Yote
I
is
don't even
not a
like.
good example, dude.
I mean,
That
I'm
thing
just
ran like a dream on like the PS4 when that thing was like that game couldn't run any game well.
I'm off, but like Death Stranding 2 runs like a dream on base. Like I'm just saying, like
two first party. Like Dragon's Dogma 2 is a game that at launch did not run great. Right?
I mean, again, my assumption is that like yeah, the console version is going to be worse. But I'm also worried that my PC might not be up to playing the game. But
Yeah,
like,
let's
I don't
see.
know. I was contemplating just getting it on Steam, which would also be great for our library.
I got it on Steam
I
because
certainly
Okay.
can't
you
run
can
this
get
on
it.
Steam.
You can get it at a pretty okay discount on Green Man Gaming right now.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll do that.
Which
So
is
it's
a
like-
Steam code.
It is
So-
a Steam code. So I've got it in the library
Oh,
now.
well, there you go.
So we
Or-
can at
There you
least. So we have one copy. So everybody should at least, before if you are thinking about buying it yourself, you can at least install
What
it
was that
and
jank
try it.
ass samurai game that you really liked, Brad?
Rise of the Ronin.
That's the one.
That's the.
Yeah, what about it?
I think this could be a Rise of the Ronin situation.
No, that's a very different
Or-
sort of thing, though. That's a
You're
Team
very
Ninja
different.
game.
It could be one might say it's a Days Gone kind of thing.
Like, there's no
Could this-
there's no satisfying exploration in Rise of the Ronin.
Could
This
this
game
be,
better have some satisfying exploration. or
Dude,
I'm gonna
the-
be
the
let
two
down.
reviews that
That's
I read-
more what I care about than anything.
The two reviews I read say, despite like some of the like underwhelming like quest design and stuff, like the exploration in the game is ridiculous. Just the
That's
what
sense
I
of
want.
of a spirit of being in the world and just taking it in organically and
I wanna
being a part of
find
it
Just
cool
is
like the
incredible.
shit.
obscurity of like having to find shit. Like
Yeah.
what like one of the positive reviews was saying like, oh yeah, at 120 hours, I found a legendary animal that I could tame and make my mount, which I didn't even know there were legendary animals in this game. But like,
Hmm.
there it is, you know? Or like, I found a helmet that increases my damage by 30%, and I didn't even
Really?
know, like, yeah, like
There's
crazy shit
there's
that's just
rewarding loot to
out
find?
there. Yeah,
Hmm.
I
Secrets.
mean, apparently.
That's what I want.
Take it up with
Because
Paul Tassi. I don't
as
know.
much as people love like The Witcher 3, like that's a world where like it might be big and beautiful and do so many things right, but like I couldn't give two shits about like exploration in The Witcher 3 because to me the only thing interesting to find are like us our side quests, right? That you could have obtained in town off of like a board, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're like someone who likes to stumble into cool story moments, The Witcher 3 is good.
Oh, you know,
If you're the kind of person who wants to like find some cool loot out in the world from raw exploration, that ain't the game.
oh,
I
Yeah.
the one thing too is like because the map's so huge, right? So fast travel is obviously kind of important, but the game doesn't tell you that like there's all these puzzles around that you can solve, but the game doesn't tell you that once you solve that puzzle, it becomes a fast travel point because it doesn't mark that as such in the map. So like
Hmm.
some people are saying like they played a whole bunch of this game and didn't realize they had more fast travel options than they really did. But then also some major places that you want to go don't have convenient fast travel options, right? Or they'll have only one convenient fast travel option, but it's locked behind a puzzle that like they couldn't solve, you know? But like even like a big part of the game is you're building up a camp, like you're building up your own base, and there's no convenient fast travel place. Like the easiest way to get to your base is to fast travel to a place in the Sky Islands and then skydive off into your base.
That's some
That
Dragon's
sounds
Dogma 2
rad.
energy.
That's the
Dragon's
Dragon's
Dogma 2
Dogma
energy.
2 shit. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
All right. All right. We've talked a lot about Crimson Desert for people who haven't touched it yet. So I would just
Yeah.
say tune in a week or two, and we will have probably played quite a bit of it, and we'll be talking about it. So you have that to look forward to. Before we wrap up, I do want to ask Chris Davis, Brad. Well, I know Brad finished Resident Evil 9 or Requiem for the
Yes.
first time.
Yes.
Chris Davis, you've finished playing
The
it
first
like
and only
16
time.
times.
5 times,
Uh,
but yeah.
yeah, you got the platinum. So
Mhm.
I guess, well, Brad, now that you finished it,
It's cool.
thoughts?
I mean, I definitely think that I was, we talked about it, right? But I played a lot more of the second half and finished it, and I had some fun, but it's that first half is definitely better than the second half, in my opinion. Now there are some great nostalgic moments, right? Like the thing y'all were spoiling completely last week about
thing?
the details of the police station and whatnot. Like how hyped that was, right? And the music and all that stuff, right? That stuff was great, right? Including other, redacted, right? Super cool. But it was a lot of like, I'm just shooting liquors, and I'm like, it's not even like
Okay, that was a spoiler right there. I was trying
it's not, dude, because
You
like,
you saying what we said last week was a spoiler. That's the bigger spoiler than the fucking
That is. Yeah.
the
but like it doesn't
music in the
even
police department.
it's not even like it's not even like meaning, like it's not even, it doesn't even feel significant anymore. Like by the end you're just fighting like waves of them, not, and it's like, like they don't do like a cool, I thought they were going to do a cool story moment when like a liquor showed up, but it wasn't. They were just like, I don't know, it's cool, it's just
I
it's
do agree. I
no,
do think the first half is stronger. Like I do prefer
yeah,
the Grace section of the game to Leon's, but overall as a package, I think it's a fantastic game.
it's so very Resident Evil, right? Like it's not even like I can't believe people are saying, would like, there's some people are talking about like this is the best Resident Evil game, and I'm like, it's a good one, but like I to me this is closer to like Resident Evil Village, which is a game I really liked, but like I would not someone I would not understand someone who says, "Oh, I love Resident Evil 9, but I think Resident Evil Village is dog shit." Like to me that doesn't even make sense.
Those people exist?
I absolutely,
Okay.
those
Yeah.
people exist. and I don't understand that because it feels like much closer to that. But I mean, I don't know. It was cool. I don't like the story gets so stupid. Like I still don't even know who that dude was that I thought was Wesker, but is not Wesker. Like it doesn't obviously it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even
Brad,
matter.
you have just gone into this just like completely spoiling things that we were trying not to spoil last
You
week.
seem hung up on the fact that you're offended by the fact that I was spoiled last week about the police station. But it wasn't even a spoiler. It was just like that's such a cool moment to experience with the music that like I almost didn't want to know.
But
right?
I'm
Because
talking
to y'all
about,
that was like whoa. That was like
I'm talking
that
about
was like
people who are listening who are not aware of any of these things being in the game. But whatever.
well, no, but the police station is in trailers and stuff, right? So
Yes,
we knew.
but the character you just mentioned is not.
What?
Oh my god, never mind. Just
Wait,
forget I said anything.
are you talking about the antagonist or are you talking about that monster?
Xeno.
I'm talking about the antagonist.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is. Am I supposed to know who that is?
No, he was a new character brought into this game.
Okay, that's all I want to know. I didn't know. I didn't know I could be spoiling things because I didn't know anything about that guy. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like he seemed like such a non-thing, and I was like, he was so Wesker coded that if
I'm gonna be honest, I assumed that was Wesker.
Everyone
Yes,
did.
exactly.
Everyone did.
exactly.
No, I mean I know he was going by a different name, but I'm fairly positive that is supposed to be Wesker.
Oh, see that I didn't know. That I
No,
didn't know.
it's-
I had
Well,
I mean,
it's not.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But
You
like
are wrong.
but like
Oh.
what evidence do you have to support that?
And why is he teleporting like Wesker?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, I mean, if it's truly a new character, then it's not really a spoiler.
Is it spoilery?
I mean, it pertains to the ending of the game.
Okay, let's have this
Yeah,
conversation
yeah.
after the podcast off the recording. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways, neither here nor there. Chris Davis, anything you want to add before we wrap up? Regarding
I
Resident
want to
Evil?
say that insanity mode is no joke. Enemies
You're a
feel like
crazy
they
person.
take twice as much damage. They are definitely twice as aggressive. I mean, they will not shamble. They will fucking bum rush you. They don't give a shit. They remix encounters. They add some new ones that kind of just. There were some still moments that naturally in the base game felt like, okay, feels like there should be something here. Definitely is there in Insanity. Lickers are, no matter what, basically one-hit kills. They fuck
You mean
your
if they
world
get you?
up.
If they get you,
If they
kill
get
you.
you.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, and there was this one encounter late in the game where you have to face a bunch of lickers. They completely remixed that, so you have to face both the lickers and the zombies at the same time. Just
There
to
was a
fuck with
sequence
you.
like that in the base game.
There is,
I remember
yeah,
it
but
well, technically speaking, again, we're venturing into potential spoiler territory.
there was one really cool thing I noticed. So you do eventually fight some enemies, not to put too fine a point on it, that they use guns.
Yes.
There's infighting
bad.
in the game, actually.
So I did that in my playthrough, and it didn't really happen like I was hoping. I was like, "Oh, this can make things easier," and I'm like, "No, this just made it worse for me." But yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
You're right.
just the concept that they wrote in that code, even though it's only in like one very specific sequence. Like the fact that it happens.
Honestly, I wish they did way more with that.
I
Is
think
this
they
the
will.
first time in any Resident Evil game that you were doing what you were, not what you're talking about the infighting, but what you were engaged with in the late part of that game? Is that the first time the series has done that?
With
the
like
things
the
you were
remixed
shooting?
encounters and stuff?
No. The what you're talking about, the things you were fighting in that
Yes.
sequence with Leon. Has Resident Evil ever done that?
What are we talking about?
Not specifically. no.
The things with the guns at the end of the game, towards the end of the game, has Resident Evil ever had that type of enemy?
Not in a
I'm gonna be honest.
mainline
I have
game.
no idea what y'all are talking.
If you're
I'm trying to think
looking
what the fuck y'all are talking
spinoffs,
about.
yes.
The enemies with guns.
The Umbrella
Like,
Operatives.
Humans.
Oh.
Humans.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Have you ever fought
gotcha.
humans with guns in Resident Evil before?
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't. 'Cause
Not
at
specifically
the
in a
time I was
baseline
like,
game, no.
oh. What
Are you
game?
talking about
Like
the
Operation
Resident
Raccoon
Evil
City, for
stuff?
example, is very much that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't count that. Okay.
I mean,
We're not- we don't talk
no one
about
wants
that.
to count Operation Raccoon City. That game should have
No.
never been. That should never fucking existed. Oh, I hate that game so much.
Because that was certainly weird. But like, can I say that like the AI for those enemies was actually like pretty good?
They
Yeah.
were.
Like-
That's the thing.
You know, I was like, I'm not mad. I was mad because you could get shot really easily, but it was nice to have human AI that was actually like pretty good. Like, because this is not what the zombies do, and I liked that. But you're right. I guess if you're playing Resident Evil 4 and like you're in the castle and stuff, like they might as well just be humans, even though they are zombies, right?
Yeah.
But again, man, yeah, this I still think now. I also believe Resident Evil 4 is one of the greatest games of all time. But like to me, it mogs the hell out of like any of the Leon stuff in here. It's just I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I
we
mean,
talked about it. We talked about it.
Yeah, I do think the Grace segment is kind of the
The highlight for sure.
the highlight of
It
of
is.
this
Although
game.
the blood stuff is so stupid. They should have
blood-
come up with something different. For that.
Yeah.
It was
I
so
mean, come
dumb.
on, really?
It was
We're
so
all
dumb.
scratching our head a little bit here about
Yeah.
that one. All right.
It's a fun ass game though.
Yeah.
All right,
That's, the only complaint I would have with Grace is that like once first half the game is over, like she gets one level and that's about it. And like I feel like the level design in the second half of the game really just I feel like having another dedicated Grace section would make the game so much more interesting to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree.
Which they did. It was just a different vibe, right? It wasn't the same kind.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I liked the potential. I like what they were doing with the stuff out in the city, but it felt a little too like each individual area was too like long and kind of linear. And I wish that you were more. It was more about like how everything connected more than just like the one way that it was.
Which is what that first segment is like.
Like one of
or-
the coolest things I did was when you can kind of do stuff out of order, but like you at some point you go up onto there's like a stairwell, right?
Yeah.
And you engage enemies in this stairwell, zombies in this stairwell, and later on you're like on the roof of that building doing other stuff, which was pretty cool. But like the way you end up going back down that stairwell, and I was on the roof and I shot something, and I was like, I think that's that stairwell. And sure enough, it was. You go back down the stairwell, and there's like an item there, and I'm like, that's what I want to see more of. I want to see more of like I'm seeing a different part of the environment from a different angle, and I'm like putting it together in my head, and I'm like, that reminds me of like
Piecing
the
the map
best
together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I almost want a vehicle. I want a motorcycle that's not a motorcycle sequence. This is what I've always said about like Tomb Raider. I like how when Tomb Raider games have vehicles that are just like ways to get around an environment. And I wish like that environment was
done it.
big. And I wish Leon had a motorcycle to get around and not a motorcycle sequence, which
I mean,
there was
they
also that.
tease so much with the Return to Raccoon City. Like there is an Easter egg in there that basically looks right at the camera and says, "Hey, we remember that you like Resident Evil Outbreak." Like there's a lot of things like that are in there.
Did you happen? I'm assuming you did because you played the game so many times at this point, Chris Davis. But did you see the secret tofu
Oh yeah,
cameo?
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
you see him hopping past a window. If you're in one of the side
Really?
hallways in the police station, you hear this weird
Really?
noise, and I kept going, "What the fuck is that noise?"
yeah.
And you see him hop past the window, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
The only reason I was harping on that music moment is because to me, y'all were like describing to me what might be like on the list of best video game moments of the year. Honestly, when that music
what?
track kicks in,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
versus like, oh, this enemy type is in the game isn't really like the best moment of the year. And I truly believe that. Like that Resident Evil 2 for a long time. Well, for a long time. It's just up there. Like I love that game and I love Resident Evil 4. And man, it made me wish that there was more music in Resident Evil 6 because especially when you're out in the city
In
and it's
6?
just like it's sorry 9 for
I was gonna
for
say.
How dare you? How
for
dare you?
It makes me wish there was more music in 9, especially when you're Leon out in the city and it's just so quiet because I'm like, oh man. And then you get to the police station and you're like, oh yeah, this is iconic Resident Evil music. I sure wish 9 had some of that. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, we should move on.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap up because this was a one segment show. It's turning into almost full show, which
Yeah,
happens.
yeah.
All right, let's wrap up with the 4-player minute. Final thoughts for the week. Brad, go.
I don't really have too many final thoughts. I was gonna save the whole game share thing from Switch 2 as my final thought. But I did talk about that earlier. I would just like to say that I did my tier list video. It is long, but I do want
Feature length.
legitimate feedback from y'all on that. And I'm talking to everybody, y'all, people listening in the
I'm
Discord.
gonna watch it.
Not y'all. I mean, I know y'all are gonna watch it, but or skim it or whatever. And I know a lot of people are gonna skim. Especially with the tier list, it's very tempting with the tier list to just go see the placement of everything. I just want to say that it's very long, but I liked doing it this way because I like giving lip service to sort of everything I touched. I do hate how like the first handful of things that I am ranking are games I didn't finish. And I realize now that it makes it seem like I didn't finish any of these games because it's literally like the first 4 games that I touch. Well, I didn't finish this one. I didn't finish this one. I didn't finish this one. That's not true about most of the games on the list. I did finish them. So yeah, don't hold it against me. And one more quick shout out to what's going on in Fantasy Critic because there was like no conversation between Thursday and Saturday and even 2 days afterwards in the Fantasy Critic channel, but there was some action that happened, including some theft. And no one even commented. Even afterwards, no one commented until I said something. But we haven't heard anything from Crispy. Like he stole a game from me, and he literally typed nothing into the Fantasy Critic channel. So I'm curious to hear his thoughts on it. I introduced
Don't take the bait, Crispy.
for Titanium Court, which is like
Titanium Court, what's
honestly, unless you're on the Fantasy Critic like server, unless you're on the Fantasy Critic server,
Is it good? Should I bet on it?
Titanium Court is probably not a game that I feel like Crispy bid on this because he knows that only I could have possibly introduced this bid, which is true.
Oh, this looks kind of cool.
Shut the fuck up, Crispy.
Should I bid on this? You think this will be fun? Oh, there's a demo. Maybe I should play.
I mean, the truth is, my bid was quite low because I
That's
didn't
actually-
kind of care about missing it because it is a bit of an oddball. The thing to know about Titanium Court is it did win the Seamus McNally at the IGFs, including like the best game design award, which is it can point to like an indie game that is going to be respected by a certain type of audience critic, like the kind of person who's judging at this thing. Which last year Consume Me won a bunch of awards, and Consume Me is a really great game. Maybe it didn't like hit high 80s or whatever like I was hoping, but it certainly still scored well. So Titanium Court is actually one of the designers who did work on Consume Me as well, is the designer for this game, and he makes cool shit. It's like such a hipster game though that I'm worried that, I mean, it's gonna get the reviews.
What, that all these fucking idiots who review games won't get it?
No, they're gonna get it. It's just like no one who there's not gonna be any reviews from anyone who's not like so
Incredibly positive about it.
yeah, because you have to be plugged in enough to even really care to play it. Like this
This
game is
does
not
seem
gonna,
like one of those games where, like, if you played this game and then wrote a negative review about it, people would read it not knowing that game was a thing, look at
Yeah.
one screenshot and be like, well, no fucking shit, you dickhead.
exactly. yes. But you should actually try the demo if you haven't. Like it bothers me when I get a game stolen and this motherfucker didn't even play the demo because there's a demo out there.
Play
But-
demo to what?
Like it's metagaming. You took it from me just because you knew it was me that introduced it. You stupid bitch.
Oh, sorry. Is that
Just like last year.
I'm not allowed to
Last
do
year.
that?
Well, you took Star Invaders and Karen from me, and sure enough, both those
Oh,
games scored
God.
incredibly well.
I should play Star Invaders.
Yeah, Star Invaders is cool.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So I've heard.
Moving on. Crispy.
I just want to talk about fuck, I was gonna make a joke and I literally can't remember the name of the game.
Dang.
The one we were just talking about.
Karen? Oh.
No!
Titanium
Starving?
Court?
Titanium Court, yeah.
You don't even know the name of it.
I was joking. Dude,
Was he though?
I don't really have much to say except for Marathon. Apparently, people are expecting Cryo Archives this weekend. The ARG has been mostly solved. Last I checked, they had one step left. I don't know. Let's take a look. A live reaction. What's going on with the ARG doc for the Breach Protocol ARG?
How do you feel about that 75? And why didn't you have
Point
the
of
balls
order.
to pick it up in fantasy?
Oh, well, I know Fantasy Critic isn't real life, right?
Yeah.
Fantasy Critic
true.
can't capture the complexity and the messiness of the real world. It's a fun game, but it is by no means the final word on what is a worthwhile gaming experience.
Of course not. Of course not.
Not
So
that
you're
I
a
would ever
coward.
accuse it of being.
Coward.
Yeah, I'm a coward. I am a survivor is what I am, Brad. I'm a fucking fighter, and I'm gonna put you in the fucking ground this year. I'm
Dude,
promising that.
Like honestly, if you look at the rosters, like you're mogging everyone and it doesn't even look close.
I don't even care.
Like it
It's
doesn't
just
look
you.
close.
It's just you. It's you. I want you, Brad.
Well, so here's the interesting thing, right? Without Mario, I have no chance of winning. But you also counterpicked Mario. So if Mario is real, you're done. I mean, you could still super drop it. You could still super drop it. It was a good counter.
Mario's
It was a good counter.
Mario's not real.
Mario's
not real.
Mario's
We all know
Okay, it looks
Mario
like-
doesn't exist.
So on the
there would never be another one.
on the Marathon ARG, it looks like they've solved a bunch of puzzles last night, and now we are on a step that is just destroy 500 million UESC bots. 500 million.
That's a lot.
And the
That's
count
a lot.
at the time of the screenshot, the count was up to 300 million.
Oh, we're gonna hit it.
So
So probably Saturday, maybe.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
hit
They
it.
usually release raids on the weekend and stuff. Dude, they had a tournament over last weekend called the Tau Ceti Cup, which had just a bunch of streamers competing in it. The prize, or not even the prize, the gift they gave everybody for participating was this like custom made marathon jacket that some cosplayer made for Bungie, and it looks so fucking sick. It looks like if it was real, you would pay $500 for it. Like, it looks crazy, and it's not for sale. Like, there's no way to get it. And they've just been showing it off all week. They showed off a video of, like, her making the jackets today, and it's like, this is so fucking cool. You can't fucking buy it. And you know what? Bungie has this, like, kind of weird merch thing that they do, which I've talked about before, which I think is equal parts sinister and really, really fucking cool, where like they will make merch for specific achievements in Destiny, or like completing certain activities in Destiny, that like you have to play the game and you have to complete that thing on your account by X date. But if you do, then you are allowed to like every time they do a raid, they put out a new raid jacket. Like they make a completely new.
To be clear, that gives them the ability to purchase it with real money,
Purchase it with real money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like $150 jacket or something. But you still have to beat the raid before a certain date, and it's like a lot of this stuff is non-trivial. Like
yeah.
it is kind of a bit of effort and planning and work to do just to have the chance to like buy this cool flight jacket that says like the last
just to be
wish
given the
on it,
honor of
and
giving
puts
them
your-
more
and puts
money.
your which from that cynical point of view is kind of like, that's fucked up, you know. But
Smart.
the other part of me is like, that's kind of sick. Like, that is kind of cool that it's like you can get these really neat real world rewards for doing stuff that is genuinely difficult in the game. But I don't know. I don't know, man.
All right.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Marathon's really fucking cool. You guys, you want to talk about 73 in Fantasy Critic? That is definitely the kind of game that, like, was never gonna pass muster for a Fantasy Critic pick, but
Arc Raiders.
is genuine. I know. Is genuinely an incredibly cool, very fun experience. But you know what Destiny, or you know what Marathon is that Arc Raiders isn't? It is skill prohibitive, right? Which is Fantasy Critic poison, because game reviewers can't play video games.
Wow.
They're bad at it.
So,
Well, they can't play Doom 2016.
We all know it.
so what are you gonna do?
We all know it.
What are you gonna do? You expect? I mean, I think Jeff Gerstmann's gonna like Marathon? No, fuck no. That guy's not gonna see even a quarter of what is cool about this game. Like, no way.
He's
Fuck that.
old too.
Jason Schreier?
He plays
I know he
Atari
knows
games.
the industry. He's a very respected pillar of the community, but that dude's not doing fucking raids. That dude's not engaging in high level PvP. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you were kind of off base about Jeff Gershman. That is the kind of game.
Oh, he loves
like.
Marathon? Oh. What a
Dang.
He loves Atari
Yeah.
games.
What a smart, intelligent man of distinction.
This is the dude. This is also the dude who loves. Remember that Xbox 360 Syndicate game? Oh,
Yes.
the only person who loves
Really?
Syndicate more than Carlos is Jeff Gershman.
It's Jeff Gerstmann.
He loves that aesthetic, and I don't know,
That's
Man, I
wild.
also played that game. I don't remember.
Well,
much about it,
you know what?
But
Mr.
you don't wanna
Gerstmann,
suck
I
its
was not
dick.
familiar with your game. I apologize.
though. Apologies, Mr.
But
Gerstmann.
also, I think you're probably wrong about Crimson Desert.
All right, we'll find out.
Gershman? Oh, that's certainly not a Gershman game.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Chris Davis, final thoughts.
Just final thought really is that Game of the Year content is finally launching starting tomorrow. I've got Brad's video ready to go. I've got Ed's 99% ready. Carlos is doing one.
What a
his is
list.
ready to go. Nick's is ready to go. Mine is almost done, and I just got to get the Game of the Year podcast video up, and I will have all that content done, and I will be done, and it'll be out of my life, and I will feel so much better. So
Yeah.
Chris Davis, can I briefly explain the Donkey Kong thing? Because I thought it was kind of funny, dude. Because there's one footage, like ultimately, where I had to keep sending notes. Right? I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
you got to get me. We got to get more Donkey Kong. This Donkey Kong footage ain't working. And he kept recording footage, and I was like, no, man, that's not Donkey Kong. And even now, the one that's in the final one, I stopped pushing back. But like almost all of your footage was underground. There's like no surface stuff. You're like digging under the ground, which you're like, and not completely. This more recent one is but
Better.
you know what I'm saying? Like you're in an underground biome and then you're in the dirt. And I'm like, that's fine. But like one of them, you were like solving a puzzle very slowly. And I'm like, this is Donkey. You need to be bashing shit, man. If I'm calling out Hulk Ultimate Destruction in the commentary, you got to go nuts. And you finally got there, but you were like blowing flowers with DK for a while.
okay, so first off, the orange footage is from like launch back in July. The second
That footage
one
was okay. It just looked like
the
shit.
snow stuff I showed you was actually Nick's recording. Okay, and what I got
He was
you
solving
today
puzzles.
was my stuff.
Okay.
Wait,
We
so you're-
we finally got to a place where it's like at least this looks like a not a turn-based game. So I'm cool.
Duly noted.
Not
Well,
my
I'm looking
tempo.
forward-
Yeah, not my tempo. I threw a chair at Chris Davis and I'm like, you need to smash. But yeah, it's we got there.
I'm looking forward to watching everybody's videos. We'll get those out to y'all as soon as we can. I'll also get them all up on 4playernetwork.com along with our top 10 list for 2025. I know it is March, but goddamn it, this is how we roll typically. So thank you for sticking with us and being patient, and thank you, Chris Davis, for of course all the hard work you put into these videos every year.
You should see mine. Since I talk about like how many games? How many games is it? It's at least 30 games, right?
Your
Yeah,
video
it's
is
about-
literally titled Brad's top question mark of 2025.
When does your
Oh.
video
So-
go live?
I haven't set a live
Tomorrow.
order. I was going to do Nick first, and then Brad, and then do one a
Oh,
day.
okay.
So keep your eyes peeled for those. We'll start getting those out tomorrow. And my final thought, man,
Be good to each
I don't-
other.
I mean, more or less. I mean, I've talked about Death Stranding too. I'm still loving that. We talked about Marathon. I haven't played much of anything else outside of that, so I don't have lots to say. I'm excited to watch Project Hail Mary tomorrow. And
Fire 2 is still pretty cool.
yeah, yeah,
Nick
it's not-
made a vow that he'll
Yeah.
never even.
Oh, Nick,
consider.
Yeah.
you're gonna play the original Marathon trilogy, right? Because it's a
you said it was in our. You
stuff.
said it was in our steamer.
It's in our
steamer-
library.
yeah,
Yeah, it's in our steamer trunk.
that's our steamer trunk. Yeah, I would. I'm curious. I'm curious more than
Play
anything just to
them,
kind of see the
Nicholas!
history of it. But anyways, yeah, I'll leave it at that. I don't have a lot to say. Hopefully next week I'll have more to say about Fatal Frame 2 remake because I did kind of
Stories
start
3.
that, but
Stories 3.
Monster
will
Hunter
happen.
Stories 3, Crimson Desert probably will be part of next week's show as well. So a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipe. So keep your eyes peeled. In the meantime, guys, thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for listening. You can find all of our episodes on your whatever podcast service you prefer. You can also find them on 4playernetwork.com, along with all of our relevant links and stuff and our Game of the Year content. So check that out. And but the most importantly, if you're not in our Discord, you should be. It's where we all hang out and talk about video games and movies and everything all day, all the time. It's just a great place to hang out and talk about the things that we love. But until next week, be good to each other, play video games, and good night.